I want a matrix file. I want to be able to use a matrix file is a work file in IPAC. So under the export, I can export out a matrix, and I can define the cell length and width instead of a 1 by 1 or 2 by 2. So I'll do a 1 by 1 cell. Should be okay. Matrix 1, export out. Okay. And there's my matrix file. Remember I did a TIFF file of that 2D image? Well, it's going to look exactly the same. If I look under my background 2D image and take off the matrix, well, that's my 2D image. There's my 2D TIFF, and there's my matrix. It's going to look exactly the same. But the thing about a matrix file, it's a work file in IPAC, is if I change the color, well, take off my 2D image, there's my matrix file. If I decide I need to worry about a channel, I'm going to set the bands, which is fine, but anything less than 10 meters is a danger zone. Call it red. Smooth. Now I change to work file the color palette. You can see the couple of bad points. Where the TIFF file is a static image. So sometimes working with the matrix file is nice because you can change colors. The matrix file can go back into tin model. The matrix file can go into cloud. But it's one of those things that you can always change the color. If you have a matrix file, I could right click, make it a TIFF file with this color scheme, or make XYZs with that level. And how do I know the level of that matrix? I just double click on it. I can see it's a 1 by 1. So a matrix can make XYZs, change colors. If you're working with it in IPAC, maybe it's a good idea to keep it a matrix. You don't have to. But once you make a static TIFF image, the colors are pretty well set. With a matrix file, I can change anything I want. And changing the colors this way, you can clearly see a few bad data points. Well, how do I clean those bad data points out quickly? Well, I would probably go into cloud, bring in this matrix 1 file, get rid of those 5 bad data points, and go back into tin model. So it's a matrix file, MTX, matrix 1.
After all, data here for to solve the solve like pipeline from data right.
There are the points.
Exactly.
I put on the right angle, just the right angle that I can see it. They're going to be floating in midair. There are my bad data points. Right there. I can take my line above. Make sure I didn't forget anything. Oop, too low. Getting there. Grab it, make sure I got everything. Complete above the line. save it as a file, as an XYZ. New Q2. Now I can bring in the tin model, make the contours, and I bet those bullseyes disappear. Export, DXF, the same setting as we had before. Let's put it 20.
20.
New file,
DXF.
export, exit, exit, new file. And we can see that the bullseyes compared to the original smooth 20, this was the original one, and had those bullseyes, the new one, I still have a little bit. But you can see that you can export out the matrix, bring it into cloud. There's a lot of ways to clean it up, but by the time you get it to tin model, if there's any small features or points that are left in, you're going to notice them, whether it's contours or sound bits. We'll take a quick break, but after the break, we're going to do a little bit more in tin model and do some more exports of what are the other exports. But the whole idea is we process the data, we're going to have to come across something where we have to give someone a product, whether it's sounding data, contour data, and image data. We're going to have to come up and give some exports. So we'll do also, we're going to start doing some sorting. We'll probably have to, we'll probably start sorting tomorrow, and then we'll get into high plot. But let's take a 15-minute break, stretch your legs. Feel free to continue playing on the computer. I'm going to take a 10-minute coffee break. So.